Yeah, this is Point Black, coming in hard off the card and off the boulevard. Coming with another boom bip and another hit. Today we're looking at some things. We're coming with the facts to crack their back, and we're coming with the heat from the street. Because we got to start looking at the world we live in based on how things are going in our lives. We cannot just sit around and wait for others to tell us how it should be. We have a lot of problems today that needs to be solved, and people need to start to get involved. So today we come up with the facts to crack their back and the heat from the street. Coming with the flow straight from the barrio. You know we do. This is BBNN, Point Black, National News, Plate Edition. Now, we're looking at the unemployment situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem that we need to solve, you know what I mean? Especially here on Long Island, you know what I'm saying? Because there are limited jobs. But what's going on, you know, is many ways are part of the problems that how, you know, many jobs have been lost. You know what I'm saying? So now we need to find out how many jobs do we need to get people back to work, and that's definitely a problem. We have a border problem going on. You know what I'm saying? More people are coming in, but the wages are still, another picture that needs to be looked at. You know what I'm saying? Especially for common Americans. You know what I'm saying? Now we see Como asking for loyalty, so we just have to ask, where's the loyalty, in for the seniors that went through this problem in our lives? We need to ask, and it's what we need to work on. That's definitely something we have to do. Now we're looking at um, now throughout the duration, you know what I'm saying? I was looking at CPAC and what went on, and we have to start doing better than this because we have the leftists, you know what I'm saying, spend most of their time trashing conferences and trying to, you know, tie in the CPAC group with the insurrection and other things like that. You know what I'm saying? Criticizing the speaker and so on. We see Americans, you know, are paying more attention to a lot of the political issues, and which is good. That is what we need. I love it. No more sleeping at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially out here. You know what I'm saying? No more sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Electing and forgetting. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. We have to stop forgetting that once we elect because we need more watching on all of them to make sure that our government is running right. You know what I'm saying? Because because if I put it like this, if we don't check or do the fact checking, then who is? And that's the question. We have many loose cannons running around, you know what I'm saying, and running amok up in the government, you know what I'm saying, and that's Point Black. We need to straighten that out and fast. You know what I'm saying? Now I see Ron Johnson had a little Republican of Wisconsin. Ron Johnson is facing criticism, marked by, you know, the remarks about the January 6th attacks on Capitol Hill, you know what I'm saying, that at least, one lawmaker in the state is called him racist. What Johnson is saying to me is, he knew the workings of this whole thing for because, he said something about Black Lives Matter. Now my question is, in this movement, do Black Lives really matter? You know what I'm saying? We have to straighten this out. It cannot be this type of ongoing thing only pops out when, this happened in such a heavy movement. And I hope the movement is surely, truly for black people. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to do better in what is out there as to the confusion based on the leftists using, even the logo of Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? This is a fact. And I noticed that there was a lot of rabble rousing amongst the Black Lives Matter, certain groups of people that were in the crowd based on their aggressiveness to start, a full disobedience that may have led to certain things. So we have to look at that. Now, Ron Johnson to me knows to me what he's saying and analyzing it. He's saying it was a fake. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he said he wasn't really scared, you know, because he knew it was a fake to set up Trump and make sure he can't, run again, I guess, for office, because that's what the mission really was. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, using the name Black Lives Matter, you know what I'm saying, in your logo and your swing and have, you know, it have these things going on is how, it got, the door in. You know what I'm saying? You see it. You know what I'm saying? Fear speaks for itself. And that's point blank. Fear do speak for itself. So Ron Johnson has a point. You know what I'm saying? On point blank, if you ask me. I mean, if he wants to speak on it, then he speaks on it. You know what I mean? But that's his opinion, and nobody has to be jumping all over and taking his opinion and running with it, because basically, you know what I mean, that's just one man's opinion. You know what I mean? And being that he might have elected official office, it is going to have its criticism. But, when you look at this, so Black Lives Matter can, to me, when they used Black Lives Matter, it came out at a critical time where it seemed like the demon Democrats or something had something to do with that, while, they control the streets and the White House. You know what I'm saying? But why don't the people see clearly of this? You know what I'm saying? Is because, they tell you it's because of it's because of the killing of George Floyd that caused a lot of stuff to go on. But there were many other incidents before that. So, you know what I'm saying? It just seemed to be kind of coincident at the time. You know what I'm saying? And that was done in plain sight on TV. You know what I'm saying? And which is, the guy is going through who did it. He's not trial, but, you know what I'm saying? But it was a black man that, you see. So now this set to me the stage, you know what I'm saying, for Antifa and the leftists, you know what I'm saying, driving the minds of the people, you know what I'm saying, in their disgruntledness for what was happening, I guess, based on George Floyd, you know what I'm saying, of the killing of a black man. So to me, really, it seemed to be something like, where it was all to grab the election, you know what I mean, based on a lot of what went on. This and more drove the election to me into the favor of the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Using the blame, blame, blame game. You know what I'm saying? So Ron Johnson, you know what I'm saying, has a right point in one way, you know what I'm saying? And it's no more than, to me, another Democratic groove going on back and forth, using, you know what I'm saying, even when they were using some of the Antifa and these groups were using black people, you know what I'm saying, once again to do the dirt they do behind that banner. It's really a shame. You know what I'm saying? And even if it was created that way, that is a shame. You know what I'm saying? Some things are just the way it is, and some things are a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? We see how they usually are good, you know what I'm saying, for creating certain sets of people and sellouts. And that's a fact in point blank. You know what I mean? And Black Lives Matter for all black people, I mean, they have their movement, but they don't speak for me. You know what I'm saying? We speak for ourselves based on this issue. You know what I'm saying? And none, you know what I'm saying? And none, all, to me, none of all, to me, it's no more than, to me, sometimes sugar on stuff, because, you know, it doesn't really fan out too much, and we need to see more changes, and we need to see more structure based on our country and where we're going. This was to me, you know what I'm saying, sugar on shit, because, you know what I'm saying, this was to save their skin, basically. So when so they went all out. You know what I mean? Basically, covering them and their tracks, you know what I'm saying, in this game. Speaking out is one thing they really don't like. You know what I'm saying? But you know, faking the funk is something that they do, and that is another. Just because you use Black Lives in their logo doesn't mean that there's truth in it. You know what I'm saying? When we look at that, it doesn't mean there's truth in it. So we have to start looking at these things based on that, you know, truth and right must stand, you know, in this matter. You know what I mean? Now, because, you know, when you look at truth, sometimes we have to sit down and really think about that word. You know what I'm saying? Truth has to have facts to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Because inside truth, you know what I'm saying, there can be lies. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as we know, there's good and bad and good. You know what I'm saying? Always remember that. This was the game that seemed to have been played. You know what I'm saying? That we're looking at as to how it went down. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats is, you know, the Democrats is the bad, the bad faking the good. You know what I mean? That's just it. You know what I mean? Because that's really the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats is the bad faking the good. You know what I'm saying? Just like Black Lives Matter sometimes. Depends on who's doing who. You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at that. Now when you look at this realistically, you know what I mean, out of 7,750 protesters, you know, last summer they were saying associated with the leftists, 570 turned out into a violent riot. You know what I'm saying? But they're speaking about Trump. You know what I mean? That killed 25 people and 1 to 2 million of property damage. You know what I'm saying? The left was intimidating Trump supporters, you know, rallies and pushing and all kinds of stuff, you know, violent as means. You know what I'm saying? To demonize the supporters, and many top news medias didn't even cover these type of events or what had really happened based on that. You know what I'm saying? All hide, you know, they all hide it, you know what I'm saying? But they did not, to me, the news medias, not all, but all of them, most of them, you know, you know, even Channel 12 News, if you look at it, you know what I'm saying? This fact is why we ask, you know what I'm saying? These facts is why we ask, you know what I'm saying? You know, they created the elections, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they cheated the elections to me, you know what I mean? And through, you know, intimidation, rights, and I mean, even murder, you know what I'm saying? So we have to look at the whole situation based on how this whole thing went down. We can't afford to do anything, you know what I'm saying? And this type of behavior in our government based on our election process must stop. We cannot continue to have an election process where we have this behavior, but this type of behavior when it comes to the leftists and the even Democrats seems to be common practice, going even back to the days of going back to 1865 and probably before, which we know. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it came to black people. Using even to meet the underground to do damage, you know what I'm saying? Like what happened in small southern towns in many of the small southern towns. You know what I'm saying? In many towns. You know, in the south in many small towns. In this election, all all the trickery to me was put on the table based on this election when it came to this process. You know what I'm saying? All of it was put on the table. You know what I'm saying? But the fake news media did not show this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like Channel 12 News. When it comes to the election count, it was the same kind of trickery or a lot of confusion going on. I don't think there was no need for nobody to be doing no rushing on the White House and all that foolishness. So it doesn't seem right that that would have been Trump supporters. And if it was, they were looking quite stupid if you ask me for doing that dumbness. It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? We was to let this election go through its process and move on. And not sit there with no insurrection and all kinds of garbage. You know what I mean? Now when we look at many outcomes, you know what I'm saying? New York alone lost a record numbers of jobs and a lot of people are out of work. You know what I'm saying? This is a mess. And we need to straighten that up right away. Mr. Cantor on Channel 12 News have a great point, and he's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of jobs are lost, and you might have many more jobs be lost because many more businesses might decide, well, you know what I mean, this is enough, and they might go somewhere else. And that's another set of people that's going to be out of work. You know what I'm saying? Due to certain things that has happened. You know what I'm saying? Biden Biden issuing a new warning, to immigrants, you know what I'm saying, crossing, the border. Biden administration saying that the border is not open, you know what I'm saying. I guess Mr. Stroke Your Back, you know what I'm saying, is now close the border. But, they shouldn't do people like that. And it's very ironic that they wouldn't even let different lawyers and attorneys go down there and see what's going on to see the conditions in those cages down there. We need to have, because now it's going to become a humanitarian issue at the border. And that's not the purpose that should be going on. People want to come to the country and have a legal status here is good. But we understand, again, you can't dump a whole country into a country because then it'll be too many people in the same neighborhoods. And we have that very little, even here on Long Island, you know what I'm saying? And that could cause a lot of confusion and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? And not just based on race, just based on certain things that can happen. And we have to look at that. So I'm wondering if Biden them using the border control thing as a way of putting heat on the American people. So we have to look at these things based on it. We cannot just sit here and play games, you know what I mean? You know, and you cannot do that. We must make sure that we understand these factors. You know what I'm saying? You know, and when it comes to the youth, the mental health of our young, you know what I'm saying, hurts more, you know what I'm saying? It hurts more. So we have to start paying attention to the minds of the children, you know what I'm saying? We know this, you know what I mean? We know this, and we need to be, we need to be looking at this very closely because it's been it has been a big strain, I guess, on the young people based on even having to stay home and not being able to see their friends. You know what I mean? So we need to work on this and get the kids back into school and back into the flotation of sociability. You know what I mean? Something has to be done. You know what I mean? When it comes to this, we are in deep waters now, and we have to understand that. You know what I'm saying? With no clearing in sight. So we need to make sure that that clearing is coming. You know what I'm saying? Fauci, to me, I really don't understand the reason, but he goes back and forth a lot. So, when it comes to Fauci, we can just leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. You know what I mean? Like I said, the 12 to 16 months is what, most are looking at to see how this economy and the country, straighten up as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Not no overnight thing because we didn't get into this that way. So we must straighten it up where it's a long-term solution that we bring because the long term is where it counts, that we straighten up New York and get people back to work and on their feet, in good healthy condition. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing. So we begin to see, what I'm saying, to me, now switching subject, I begin to see a little bit of cracks Mr. Biden, saying his whole plan and his administration. You know what I'm saying? He's getting a lot of rejection from certain Republicans and even some Democrats that's urging him, to do certain things. And there's a lot of posturing going on between China and America. And I'm getting tired of it. I mean, these countries act like they're little children playing with little big bombs and toys. We gotta stop this. This is not a joke. There should be some form of understanding without all this military might playing around. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Grown, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But we beginning to see the cracks and the holes and, you know what I'm saying, in Biden's whole plan. You know what I'm saying? It do not add up, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? I see on Channel 12 News the data never seems to show where it counts. And we need to see that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to even foreign affairs. Thomas McGinnis, he's up there, you know what I'm saying, on many things. It seems to me he's down with the bull, if you ask me, as well as the deep state. You know what I'm saying? He's saying things, to make, the grass greener on the other side. And I don't see that in sight until this thing has been truly understood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean. I don't have to keep repeating the same thing based on what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Now, Como, the jumping subjects, Como is the one who pulled New York through in this matter. You know what I'm saying? And it also seemed like some things were pulling to the bull. Shit, if you ask me, using, the nursing and all that different stuff that went on with his controversy. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, to me, he's playing ball now, like Bill de Blasio said, you know what I'm saying, doing the Demon Democrat trade. You know what I'm saying? Now I see we have a marital race going on, an election, you know what I'm saying? You it's going on. Let's get the Republicans in the office so we can have a balance here, even on Long Island, equal Republicans as equal Democrats in these seats. You know what I'm saying? We need balance here on Long Island, and we see what the Demon Democrats have done, as well as some Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Time for change, time to straighten up, time to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I wonder how right is Laura Corey is the question I heard her talking about it's going to get brighter. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how right, you know what I'm saying? It shows, where we are going, you know, there's the bag and the tag going on as usual. It's still on the table. Now I thought Biden was supposed to be lowering taxes, but it seems like the taxes are simply going up by Mr. Lover Man. So we have to look at that also because people don't need any more taxes. To me, you can't keep just raising. How much you gonna raise too? Till you outraise the people. You know what I mean? People have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Even in certain situations, people should have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because if 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 we are the people, you know what I'm saying? If we are the people, you know what I mean? That makes the world go round. You know what I'm saying? We should have a voice. So it is only right that, on most things, we should be able to have an opinion, you know what I'm saying, with no fear. You know what I mean? So we have to get that together as we go, even with the border situation and much, much more concerns. We must win in this. You know what I mean? As people and Americans, we have fought very hard. Our parents before us, and therefore you understand that. And I was even looking at Rush Limbaugh. He had said something in the Post that if Americans did not stop the left and their plans to implement socialism, they will destroy America. But I see what Rush Limbaugh is saying. I feel him on that, but basically, you know, we just need to make sure that the people that's running our government, that is elected by us, do the right thing, and we need to fact check everything that they do, because they're supposed to be able to provide us with proper documents and proper information as to their conduct in America. There shouldn't be no need for socialism and talking about destroying America. I don't like that terminology because we got to stop saying that. You know what I mean? So Rush Limbaugh has a point in one way and in another. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the rhetoric at the end, because the people should be able to fact check and change things in order to make their country run right. You know what I mean? Now it's good to see the judges allowing the audits, you know what I'm saying, on these machines. I said we get into a lot of the audits on a lot of the in a lot of counties, the ballots and voting machines, and even the ballot, certain procedures are being allowed to be examined. It is what to me. It's all about the truth, because yes, it's about voters, and to me, it's about voter integrity also, in the political process as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Every candidate should bring change to what is wrong before, you know what I'm saying? Because he's coming in and there had to be wrong being going on for the people to have right to look for a new candidate anyway. And they want to feel like that candidate is going to bring change to what has been going on all along and before, you know what I'm saying? If it's a new, using the word, you know what I'm saying, a new president or a new administration, then how could it be the same? You see, how can it be the same? And that's what we have to look at. You know what I'm saying? With no change. You know what I'm saying? With no change. There must be change. Point blank. Point facts. You know, when you see the same policies, which is the same, then we know that the ball, you know what I'm saying, is passed from one to another, which brings the same or worse, you know what I'm saying, as we see now. You know what I mean? So who is really at the helm is the question. Who's steering the boat? You know what I mean? Is the question. We must now begin to break the backs of this behavior. We cannot have this type of stuff going on, because racism to me, you know what I'm saying, breeds this type of behavior where, so, you know what I'm saying, we think, you know what I'm saying, so we think, and so we know. It breeds this type of behavior where some think it's okay, others, they think we got it made. So, what do I care? But we must care for the world in which we live. And that's a fact. That's same if you went to Mars. Were you gonna go destroy Mars too? You know what I mean? You should care for all the planets as a whole, throughout the whole galaxy. Now we must, support Letitia James out there in her quest to help, you know, regain, the will of the women to stay in the workforce, you know what I'm saying? And in position of power, especially all women, black women especially stand up. So that's important that we do. You know what I mean? So we have to start looking at these things. You know what I mean? Because the people must have a voice even in certain situations. And that's a fact and point blank. You know what I'm saying? So the road, you know what I'm saying? So the road is we coming in off the road on this one. So coming with part two.